Hi, it's Keisha Austin this week with keeping promises to yourself. I know for me, I have struggled in the past and currently with keeping promises to myself. I don't struggle with keeping promises to other people and being a woman of my word, but when it comes to me sticking to a diet or sticking to some type of schedule I set for myself or trying to create healthier habits for myself, I notice that I often struggle with those things. And in this video, we're going to talk about ways to combat not keeping promises to yourself. So one of the things that I've noticed that works for me is to create a daily plan and to jot down the small achievements that I have. It has gotten or had gotten to the point that I would achieve and do so well, specifically with losing weight, and I would totally backpedal. I would wake up in the morning, go to the gym, work out, have an amazing workout, see transformation in my body. But in that moment, I would be so discouraged and so down on myself because I didn't wake up in time, or I didn't get the full 45 minutes and I was only able to work out for 30 minutes. And I would feel so bad, and I would just beat myself up and not congratulate myself for getting up, getting dressed, getting to the gym, working out, and just continuing on with my healthier lifestyle. Hence why I have since gained back so much weight, because I did not appreciate my progress throughout that journey. So with that, I learned, and I am going to share what I learned with you all. And one of the things that I learned was to create a list of goals, small, large, short-term, long-term, and go through those goals all day. So when it comes to building a relationship with yourself and maintaining a relationship, it's proven to be more difficult than maintaining relationships with other people, because you are always with you and you speak to yourself outside of you opening up your mouth. You have your insides, your feelings, your emotions, everything that's going on in your head. You are responsible for that. So it's a lot more work to maintain a healthy relationship with yourself, especially when you're spiritual, because you also have that intuition letting you know that, hey, those thoughts are not on the right path. You need to get where you ain't. So one of the things that I have done is create a list of things that I have accomplished throughout the day. Now, this could be on a sticky note, it could be on a journal, it could be a notepad in your cell phone. But my example that I used with the gym situation, my goal could have simply been to go to the gym, right? I achieved that goal. And if I look back at my checklist or my small goals, daily, weekly, whatever the case may be, I'll remind myself, your goal was not to be at the gym for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever the case may be. Your goal was simply to get to the gym, and you did. So getting to work, making it to work. If you're late often, or you need to pack your lunch, so what? If you've packed your lunch 4 times out of the week and you left it on the counter on a Thursday or whatever, you congratulating yourself for those goals that you've achieved is healthy. And I think that it is very essential to creating that positive self-talk. And I think that we also have to create a different relationship with ourselves internally, changing that talk, making sure that we sort of reintroduce ourselves to one another. You are not the same person you were when you initially started to change your life, you know? Congratulate yourself for that. I have sat down with women who are trying to recover from a divorce, start a new job, move on with their life, and raise their children. And they're giving themselves such a hard time for not totally trusting the person that they're in a relationship with now. It's understandable. I mean, be fair to yourself, because if you were speaking to someone else, you would be compassionate, you would be understanding, you would be sympathetic. So be that same way to yourself. If you need to cry, let it out. I had to remind this individual, you're doing a great job, you know? You are mourning the loss of your marriage. You've been married to this person for so many years, and this was your life, and you left that. you're rebuilding. You're trying to rebuild your life with new set of circumstances, and you're also healing. And I think that we oftentimes let what we're trying to do overshadow what we have yet accomplished. That was a very unhealthy relationship that she was in, and she got out of that. And I think that that's very important, and I know that it's very important that we keep those things in mind with moving forward, and also paying it forward to other people. We go through life so fast, and we don't acknowledge the things that we've done and things that we've overcome. And it also makes us not be sympathetic to other people who are going through the same thing. We are so often easy to forget things that we've overcame. I think that I'm saying all of this to say, give yourself credit, be real with yourself and understand that changing for the better is not an overnight process. Do not set yourself up for failure thinking that it will be something that will be accomplished overnight, because it's not. It's not going to happen overnight, and that's okay. That's okay. You need to start to think different in order to produce those different results. It does take time, but the small initiatives, they will pay off. And back to what I was stating about writing and jotting things down. Once you start to, when I was speaking about the gym situation, once I had gotten down on myself for not waking up in time, once that negative talk started, once I allowed the enemy to manifest in my mind those deadly thoughts, pretty much gave up. It was pretty much like, you've failed in this area, why even pursue, or why even try? Or you don't pursue it with the same endurance or the same tenacity that you have once you know that you can make it through something. For instance, if you run a marathon and you rank in 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, one of those, more than likely the first. If you rank in the first place, you will more than likely run another marathon. But if you have it in your mind, I did not pass, or I didn't win this marathon, because you made second or third place, 10th, 50th, whatever the case may be, you're least likely to run another marathon. It's that self-talk. We all do it. And it's okay. It's okay, because we've acknowledged it. And once you've acknowledged it, you need to make those changes and talk to yourself differently. It's beneficial to not only yourself, but your children, your family, your friends, your coworkers. We have got to learn, be mannerable to ourselves. Hug yourself in the morning. It sounds so silly, but you can hug yourself with your words, the way that you look at yourself in the mirror. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. Renew the perception of yourself. I strongly suggest you create a timeline of yourself 5-10 years ago. Start from high school if you're not that old. Start and graduate from college. I'm pretty sure there are some things that you can acknowledge about yourself that you have changed. And the fact that you've changed is a good sign that you can change and that you can continue to change. Even if you change for the worse, you changed. So you have the ability to change for the better. Give yourself credit, girl. You can do it. You can do it. We have got to take ownership of our life and control the things that we can't control. And this in here, we can control. So we need to control that. And I'm preaching to myself here, because I know that there are some things that go on in here that I need to change and adjust so that I can be a better mother, a better wife, a better assistant vice president, a better me, a better child of God. And that's ultimately what I want to be. My voice, my life is not at all for my benefit. It's not at all for my benefit. It's for my purpose, the reason why I'm here. So in order for me to serve others, I have got to be able to maintain a healthy relationship with myself. And all of these tips and all of this stuff to help create a better relationship for yourself and with yourself, ultimately for a better life. It's not something that you do one time and the problem will be solved. It's something that is going to have to be ongoing, especially with the goal setting. Maybe maybe once you start jotting it down, you'll start to acknowledge the fact that you have achieved certain things throughout the day. Back to the gym situation. Once I've jotted it down a couple times, maybe a couple times out of the week, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever it may be, maybe I won't have to jot it down anymore, but I will still have to keep in mind that you have achieved, and don't set yourself up to be in a position of perfection, because that's not realistic. And what happens is you start thinking that you're perfect. You'll start expecting that from other people. And it's not realistic. It's not fair. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to people that you come in contact with. So in order to become overall better you, let's start changing that self-talk. Let's start changing the way that we see ourselves outside of the mirror. Hands, feet, everything. Let's start being appreciative of where we are, because it could have been a whole lot different. And I say, before you start this journey, pray about it. And you keep praying about it. And you keep striving to do better. I mean, it's a new year coming. I don't wait for stuff like that to change and make goals. I change all the time, you know. And I want to continue to change. God did not design anything to stay the same. Seasons change all the time. The days change. We need to be in a position to change and get better. I love you, family.